Jay, and today we're exploring Mount Pleasant Cemetery in Toronto, and we're going to look at a few famous graves and just take a look around here. It's very beautiful. It's a nice fall day, Thanksgiving Day actually, Canadian Thanksgiving, and we're gonna visit some famous graves, as I mentioned, including Glenn Gould and Lyon Mackenzie King. So I hope you join me. Let's go to it. That is a very interesting tombstone. It's a couch. It's not a bench, it's a couch. Here we are at the grave of William Lyon Mackenzie King, Canada's 10th Prime Minister. He was actually, he may have been 10th or 11th or 12th, because he was elected 3 separate times between the 1920s and the late 1940s. He was Canada's Prime Minister during the Second World War, and there's lots of pictures of him with Winston Churchill and Roosevelt when they came and they had meetings in Quebec and Newfoundland. They say that he was such a prolific author of his own diaries that if you were to take all the written pages and were to stack them one page on top of each other, it would have been 7 meters, apparently. So we're talking almost 60 years worth of personal correspondence. The historians loved it. They poured all over it. And some of the things that they took away from that was he was into seances and spiritualism, communicating with the dead, although he kept that very private during his public life. It only came to be known after his death. I think that was probably a very small part of who this man was, but the public just seems to love that, and it sticks out. Apparently he was talking to his grandfather, and more notably a couple of his old dead dogs. Yeah, I don't think that's a fair assessment of this man and his life's work. Never married, didn't have kids. There are a few other kings that are buried here, some other family members, notably in that crypt right behind him. Here we are at the grave of Frederick Banting. He was the gentleman that developed insulin, which basically gave an effective treatment for diabetes in the 1920s. He tragically did die in a plane crash in 1941, just outside of Gander, Newfoundland. It's an interesting story about Banting and how he developed this. He basically got the loan of a laboratory for the summer while a colleague of his was going on vacation to Scotland. And the colleague said, well, I've got 2 graduate students you can use. He goes, well, I can only afford 1 at a time, so maybe we'll rotate them. And the two grad students or medical students who were going to help him were a guy named William Best and Clark Nobel. And basically what those two guys did is they flipped a coin to see which one of them would work with Banting for the first half of the summer. And they flipped it, and Best was the one who won the coin toss. So the best man won. Now the thing is, Banting really did like working with Best, so he kept him on. So poor Clark Noble didn't get a job that summer, or at least not with him. And when he developed insulin, he won the Nobel Prize for that, and he split the prize money with Best, and also the credit. And Best went on to have a very illustrious career, and is actually buried in this same graveyard. And yeah, and he got partial credit for the Nobel Prize. And the ironic thing is, the guy named Nobel didn't get a Nobel. I thought that was kind of interesting. A little bit of history. All right, here we are at the grave of Glenn Gould, a famous Canadian pianist. He died in 1982 from a stroke, and the family grave is here as well. That's his father and mother there. I don't believe he was married or had any children. Very famous composer. Did some great music. He even traveled during the Cold War. He actually played in Moscow and sold out several nights. They extended some of his tour because it was so popular with the Moscovites. Thank you folks so much for joining me today, visiting some famous graves. Hope you enjoyed the tour. These memorial parks are becoming much more popular now that the indoors are kind of not as accessible with the COVID virus and everything, but it's been a beautiful day, and lots of people have been walking around and enjoying this beautiful park. So anyways, if you did like what you see, please subscribe and add a like button, and stay tuned. There will be more videos coming up. Thanks a lot and have a great day. Take care now. Bye.